Thank you so much for joining us, David. See how committed he is. He is working tirelessly for the promotion of Opulence Global and the fountain of life. So David handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global, for those of you who did not know. So from his science and pharmaceutical background, he's been recognized as incredibly valuable to Fairy Flawless as a world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continued with the Fountain of Life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature, and the future development in the Safe Home Revolution collection. David is honored to be a part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the lives of people. And we just want to thank you so much for the work that you put in with us, David. So thank you for joining us.
It's a nice introduction, and thank you for allowing me to join you. I'm so sorry I couldn't get to a computer, but I don't have one in my lab, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's okay. Henry, let's begin.
Okay. Yeah. Getting everything ready. So, how should we start tonight? What would you like to cover?
Okay, let me start with a few frequent asked questions that I usually get in the field as well. I would like to get a feedback from you. How about that?
Okay.
Let's from that.
Sure. Okay.
Yes. Okay, David. We always have these people, especially professionals, registered TCM, naturopath doctors. They would always ask or question the safety of the trimethylene glycol. I know you must have talked about it a lot of times, but I would like to get another review of this question so that a lot of us would get to have a better idea of how to answer these kind of professional questions or challenges from these people.
Okay, number one, what is their concern about trimethylene glycol? This is one thing I don't understand. Is it because of the Winkler study back in the 30s? Or is there's something else going on here? I'll tell you one thing. Trimethylene glycol is generally regarded as safe. It's classed as a food by the U.S. FDA. Health Canada recognizes its safety. There is absolutely no reason for anyone to believe otherwise. It is derived from corn. It's not derived from petroleum. Some people keep saying it's derived from petroleum. It is not. That's a fallacy. And so it's safe. It's made by a very large corporation, which I'm not allowed to talk about really. But believe me, this has been around for a long time, and I do not quite understand the trepidation of these people when trimethylene glycol is used in a number of products. But it has been looked at several governments, and it has been deemed a safe product. So, you know, it's got halal and kosher certification. We have that available. So if people want to see that, we're able to furnish that. But this is a very safe product. There's, you know, no toxicity to it. So I'm not sure why anyone would think otherwise. There hasn't been any MOD report on it. And MOD report is when there's been an adverse reaction to a product. And so there are no MOD reports on trimethylene glycol. However, you know, doctors being doctors, I guess, they will be skeptical at times.
Yes, I think most of the confusion comes from the Google or whatever search engine they use. They mix it up with other things like a triethylene glycol or something that I think need them to find other readings about it. So I think that's one of the most easy confusions with other glycols, other things that are maybe they are not food grade or something.
Well, it is food grade, number one. Number two, they know if they went to You know, if a doctor has gone to school, and they have gone to school, they'll know that these glycols are all different. You know, one, you know, just because you name one and it's close to another, it doesn't mean they're the same or have any toxicity. There's no relationship in that manner. But if they Google it, they should, you know, why don't they just ask us? We'll be able to supply more information if that's what's required.
Okay.
I can see what I'll see what the head office has to say about that. If it's causing that many issues, I'd like to put this to rest once and for all. You know, it's sort of silly because they're getting hung up on the excipient. You know, it's like creating an energy drink and they're talking about the water that's being used in it, not talking about the energy. You know, what is causing the, you know, the positive results or anything. They're talking about the excipient, the carrier. So I'll talk to head office and see what they want to do. Okay, promise you that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, David. We are very happy to get this verification. I mean, this clarification from our authority. Thank you very much for that.
And I can appreciate that because, you know, I've dealt with this trimethylene glycol for probably 15 years now without issue. It's just that I've had experience with it and I could talk to a doctor about it. However, if you're new to it, it's really hard to talk about it, right? So, in all fairness to people, so we'll see what we can do. Okay.
All right. Wonderful. Yeah, we have some kind of even official statement or something that we can use that will be even more authoritative and wonderful for us to use in the field. Thank you very much, David.
Okay. I'm just hopping in my car, so if you lose me for a second, I'll get back on. I'm going to hook onto the Bluetooth, okay?
All right, no problem. Okay, the other question that we get from the field is also the what is the advantage of FOL compared to other antioxidants?
Okay. And how do they want me to compare it? Like when they say, you know, how does it compare to other antioxidants? Let's talk about what fountain of life is. Fountain of life is a source of lignans. Lignans is not part of our, you know, vocabulary a lot of times, but lignans are an important part of our diet that's missing. Compared to other antioxidants, there's many out there. You know, we're talking about different vitamins, all that, but lignans are a different type of antioxidant. You know, it's found in the plant cell walls of many types of plants, but because of processing, you know, because we've engineered and we process our foods, it no longer has a nutrient value it once had. And I think that stands to reason because our most abundant source of lignans has always been wheat. 70% of the world eats wheat, but because of the population growth, we went over to dwarf wheat, which is really something that is, you know, high yields but low nutrition. That is a problem. Now, when we compare lignans to other antioxidants, we have to just sort of stay with lignans. We're not here to compare, well, what's the mode of action of lignans versus anything else. But what lignans do, and this is the important thing, is that it maintains and structures our enterolactone levels in our body. And why enterolactone? Why is enterolactone so important? Enterolactone has many, many benefits. And that includes, it's going to reduce our chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation causes so many other health issues over time. We're talking about diabetes type 2, we're talking about dementia, we're talking about cancer, we're talking about heart disease. All these things stem from chronic inflammation. And enterolactone is one of the things that we have to maintain to reduce that. So this is what lignans do. Okay, so we focus on what lignans do instead of focusing on, let's compare what our antioxidant does against versus vitamin C and everything. There's no win in that. But it doesn't even explain what the value of fountain of life is. Enterolactone, if you remember this at all, but enterolactone is a very important part of our body's chemistry, and we need that. We have to maintain that. And enterolactone has anti-cancer and anti-metastatic benefits. So it's very important. They've established that enterolactone is very important. And so that is a benefit of fountain of life. And if you just stick with that, you should be okay. You don't have to compare it to other antioxidants. It's sort of silly. Yeah, are other antioxidants important? Of course they are. I'm not saying we're not here to say don't take any other vitamins, don't take any other antioxidants. We're saying that fountain of life replaces the lignans that aren't in your diet, and you need lignans. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes. Thank you, David. Yeah, we have usually we get people asking questions about it's all antioxidants. So why is this one so special? So from your explanation of the lignans, it gives us a deeper insight into what the lignans can do, as opposed to other antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin A, or some other enzymes or other ingredients out there.
Yeah, well, we're not here. Yeah, we're not here to put down other antioxidants. We're not here to say, oh, the antioxidants are no good or they don't work. There's benefit to all sorts of antioxidants. It's just that lignans themselves are the ones that develop to enterolactone in our body, and enterolactone is very important for our overall well-being and health. So you have to look at what is the real benefit of this. It comes down to maybe just this one word, enterolactone, but that's a very big word in our overall scheme of things. So we do need that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, David. Yeah, I know some of these other antioxidants, they are limited to what they can do. Some of the antioxidants, they are in the form of enzymes or in the form of to neutralize, let's say, iron-based and free radicals. So the lignans from fountain of life does more variety of free radical fighting effects. So I think I would call it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, and you made an interesting point about lignans that maybe we don't talk enough about, but when something loans an electron to a free radical, it itself becomes a free radical usually. Lignans do not. And that's a unique property to a lignan. So it'll neutralize a free radical without itself becoming a free radical.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Okay. Also about the exclusivity and the uniqueness of the fountain of life. I know in other companies, people deal with different, let's say, other ingredients in the market. They usually fight each other over your ingredient has a certain content or percentage, so they compare with each other, fight with each other because they don't have exclusivity. And with our exclusivity and the long-term ownership of this fountain of life, can you explain a little more about the advantage of our fountain of life as a unique and advantages in the sense of nobody else has it? Can you explain a little more in that direction for us?
Well, I'm not, I don't go out there and I don't compare fountain of life to other products because I'm not sure what we're referring to at this stage, and I don't delve into that because I don't know everything about the other companies' products. To take a look at what fountain of life is, fountain of life is the extract from the Norwegian spruce. There's other companies. I noticed that they make their product from different parts of the spruce tree, but I can't comment because I don't know how it's made. I've never looked at what they've got in terms of their capacity of lignans, anything like that. I don't have the expertise to do that because I have not done a deep dive. However, we're the only MLM company that has Norwegian spruce extract. That's unique to Fountain of Life and many of our other products. So it is this extract that is grown or harvested from the trees growing in northern Finland. Now, the Norwegian spruce grows all over the world, but the place that we harvest it from is a very, very harsh environment. And we are harvesting the branches from that are left from the pulp and paper industry, and we're taking the stem hardwood and actually making Fountain of Life from it. So we aren't destroying any trees. I can't comment about anybody else's because I don't know the history and I don't know exactly what that is. So again, this is not a subject that I can do with any expertise. That is not my job. You have to talk to someone like Sanaz about that because maybe she has more information, but I just don't have that. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Some people would be worried about, let's say if we market it to the world and then we double, triple, quadruple, 100 times more that we sell when our company grow into a bigger company. Are we going to run out of the spruce trees if it's so, it takes so many years to grow them?
No. 70% of the forests in Finland are owned by families. It's really a weird stat, but families own the trees. And they've had a sustainability program in place for years because their main industry there is pulp and paper. So they knew that, if they kept harvesting trees at a certain rate, their pulp and paper industry would die. So no, there's a sustainability program already in place, but it's in place for decades. So no, that's not an issue whatsoever. And again, being family owned, they're very conscientious about the state of the health of the trees themselves.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. We should have a lot of confidence in as much as we need in the world when we make it big, sell millions of bottles. So that's just no worries about that. Okay, the next thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to be entering a bridge in a second, so if you lose me, I'll come back on in about a few minutes. So, okay.
Okay, no problem. With the Fountain of Life, do we have any sort of concern about overdose, or if you use too much? I know some people they use as much as half a bottle. Is there any way that we have any concerns about that?
No. I was looking at the various studies, and on every they do what they call a toxicity study. You literally have to sit down and drink 35 bottles of Fountain of Life at one sitting for you to start feeling any effect negative. So in essence, no. There wasn't, when I first saw this, I realized this is pretty foolproof as a product. It's very safe. There wasn't really any toxicity that they could find, but they determined that perhaps 35 bottles would be something that would be undesirable. And I don't know anyone that's going to drink 35 bottles of Fountain of Life at one time.
Okay. As long as they don't drink 35 bottles in one sitting, then they are okay. All right. Okay, that's a lot.
Well, it's a lot. In other words, it's perfectly safe for the instructions that we have to use.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. It's great to be assured of that. So no worries. You can take as much as you want. Basically, nobody is going to take 35 bottles sitting anyway.
But there's an ideal level of, they say 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops in the afternoon, and 10 drops in the evening. Seems to give some very good results. That's what they said. However, They said if you are sick or you have a serious disease state, they would recommend you taking more. Okay, that's all they said. Take more. They did not define how much more, but people have doubled up on that. I've doubled up on it, and there hasn't been an issue whatsoever. So, and I'm sorry, I'm speaking anecdotally. That's not very scientific, but again, I do know that 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops in the afternoon, and 10 drops in the evening seems to be a very sustainable, safe level to use on a regular basis. But you could go much further than that if you want.
Yes, I do that myself already. When I am in my office, I usually show people how they dump one syringe in the mouth. So if I have 10 people showing a day, I would do 10 pumps a day.
Yeah. But you're okay. You're not gonna. There's no way to really. You're not gonna overdose, or you're not gonna hit a toxic level at that time. No way.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Okay, there's always this question if there would be any type of side effects of the fountain of life. Can we hear from you about that?
Well, the only real side effect, if you want to call it that, is if you're allergic to it. That's not a side effect. That's just an allergy. So if you're hypersensitive to, coniferous trees, evergreens, all that, you might be hypersensitive to fountain of life. Beyond that, there isn't any quote-unquote side effects because it's not a drug. But at the same time, recognized as a food source, it still doesn't cause any negative impact on yourself unless you're allergic or hypersensitive to it. That's the only thing you have to be aware of.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. I have been telling people the same story, and I also wanted to get a authoritative statement from you. That's wonderful. That I have been telling people that if you feel any healing crisis, we call that, it's okay because our body has to make adjustments. Our body has to detoxify. And in order to get over something, we need to sort of like doing a renovation of your old house. You have to tear down some old stuff, some leaky stuff, some moldy stuff, in order to have a brand new house that you kind of rebuild. So in that process, you might see some dusty stuff, some moldy stuff, smelly stuff until you completely renovate your new kitchen. So that's what I tell people usually when I hear that question. I usually deal with that way. But thank you very much for confirming that. Thank you, David.
Okay.
Can you also explain a little bit between the difference of estrogen from our human source and the phytoestrogen that lignans would be used as in our body? I know the benefits of phytoestrogen. Some people, they are worried about it might cause some kind of concern about, especially hormonal related issues like nodules or tumor or cancer. Can you explain to us a little bit in that direction?
You mean, okay, if I got this right, they're concerned about phytoestrogens?
Concern of, phytoestrogen, they usually mix up with the estrogen. So can you explain to us?
Well, yeah, okay, plant estrogens or phytoestrogens, they have a similar, they look similar in terms of its structure. And however, having said that, it does not have the same strength or power as a mammalian estrogen. Nowhere near as powerful as that. So, you don't have to really worry about that. Now, in terms of certain disease states, because of its structure, it can stop, and they've seen this in certain studies. They mentioned that they feel that these phytoestrogens will block certain receptor sites to lower the chance of tumor growth. So it has shown benefits to, especially with hormonal cancers. We're talking prostate, we're looking at breast cancer, all this. But before we run around and say that this will work on breast cancer, you really have, or prostate cancer, you really have to work with an oncologist and doctor to make sure it's okay. There are studies that support that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we know all these phytoestrogen, phytosterol, they are beneficial to human beings as opposed to the other source like the human source of estrogen and the steroids. So it's great that we can have this lignans from the Fount of Life that acts as a phytoestrogen and that can help our body in that way.
Right.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's check our host here. Can you check the questions and answers? Can you see what other questions we have so far?
Yes. Sure. 1 second. So I see Bella would have asked, where is the extract extracted from? Is it the bark or the layers under the bark? And then is FOL made in Canada or bottled in Canada?
Okay. The extract itself comes from the stem hardwood of the Norwegian spruce. So they got the stem or the branch of the Norwegian spruce. The hardwood itself grows right into the trunk of the tree. It's actually darker in color, and they scoop that out when they're making, when they're manufacturing pulp and paper. That's discarded. So that's what we harvest. We take the discard, and we extract that Fountain of Life fluid from that. It is done. This is done in a factory in Finland. They take up to 50 tons of branches to make 1 ton of Fountain of Life. Now they're shipped overseas to Canada, where it is tested and it's bottled here at a Health Canada facility.
Thank you very much, David. So, so it is made. The original extracting plant is in Finland, and then we ship the liquid to Canada, and we bottle it in Canada, and it's a Canadian product. We sell it worldwide now to, I think it's about 136 countries and territories of the Fountain of Life.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you have a next question?
Yes, so the next question is, why do they choose corn crops? David, I think this is in relation to the first. I'm seeing another question coming in. Yes, so this is the first part that you were talking about, as well as can a breast cancer patient take FOL while doing the chemo treatment? Can we touch on that a bit? I know that's very interesting for a lot of our listeners.
Okay, the question about if you're doing any chemo or radiation therapy, you should not take any antioxidants. None. I'm not saying that because I'm saying that. I'm saying that because I spoke to a hospital, a cancer treatment hospital. I asked them, I said, what do you recommend? They said, no antioxidants whatsoever. Because antioxidants can protect the cells that they're trying to eradicate. Okay?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm seeing another question. If one uses FOL topically and the area breaks in hives, does it mean that it's too strong for that person? Should we recommend to dilute it in water and use a spray bottle by spraying it? Or how else would you recommend, David?
I recommend not using it. If you break out in the hives and you place it on your skin, it means that you're allergic. If you have it creates a rash or itchiness or hives, it means that you're hypersensitive or you're allergic to the product, so please don't use it. One of the tests.
Okay. Yeah. I think there is the question regarding the which part of the tree that comes from as well. I think it's in the branch. The branch is long enough. That's better than the leaves, because there are some other products that made from the pine needles, which means it's the leaves. Now it's much more costly if you extract it from the stem of the tree, which is a major trunk of the tree. And so the best source is actually the branch. The branch is where you get enough years of life in it, and then it doesn't cost you the whole tree to do that. So that's why it's so affordable for us. I think that's regarding that question from the. But also, can David explain to us as to why do we choose corn as a carrier as opposed to anything else? Why would the corn extract would be the one that we choose with the fountain of life together?
Well, I don't know any other recipient that you really want. There's several reasons, like, it acts as a preservative on itself. When you're ever working with these, you have to consider multiple things. And the structure of it, how it impacts, the final product. Is it safe? Yes. Is it antimicrobial? Yes. That's part of the trimethylene glycol's properties. It will boost antimicrobial activity. So I don't know other excipients that you want to use, but there's no question that there are other excipients, but you want something that's safe and efficacious.
Okay, thank you, David. Yeah, so the corn extract is the best source of carrier that we can have for the fountain of life. So no questions about that. No toxicity, no concerns of overdosage. So that's the best for us. Thank you, David.
Right, and there is another question. Dr. Henry, what is your thoughts on FOL and gallstones?
Gallstone?
Yes.
Okay, I have a patient that came to my office, and he said he has some gallbladder stone and digestive issues, and he has even a polyp on his gallbladder. So his doctor wanted to chop it out, basically take it out before it causes a major breakdown in the body. Because if the stone is travel to the bile duct, common bile duct, and it can cause the backflow of the enzyme fluid from the pancreas. So that's very, very dangerous. So that's why the doctor would like him to take it out, take the whole gallbladder out. So that's the option. But he came to see me, and then he somehow within use of one bottle, he couldn't find the stone anymore. It became a sludge in the gallbladder, and he was able to save his gallbladder. So that is something that really encouraged me to encourage other people to use it for their stones, whether it's in kidney, whether it's in the gallbladder. Somehow there's a way the body seems to work on it and make it softer and dissolve it. So we are looking for other testimonials, other people that would testify to that, but we do see cases like that. So you are encouraged to use it. Back to you, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you so much. And I do see another question that would be for David. How soon after chemo and radiation can a cancer patient use the fountain of life?
Excuse me, they have to discuss that with their doctor. It really has to be discussed with the doctor because they could have adjunct therapies at the same time, right? I don't know what the doctor's using. I don't know the course that you're using. There are a lot of unknowns because course, that's between the patient and the doctor. And you do not want to disrupt, you know, medications that they're prescribing. So they have to talk to the doctor. And they got to talk to the doctor and ask them, is it clear? Is it okay for me to change my diet? Am I allowed to start taking antioxidants? Is there any issue whatsoever? And they have to have that discussion. Okay? We cannot say start taking Fountain of Life because we can endanger and we can eradicate all the good that's being done. So we do not want to do that. We have to talk to the doctor.
So it is completely true that you do need to consult your medical health professional on things like these. And I just want to say to both Henry and David that thank you so much, so much for being here with us. I think we really don't appreciate enough how we can get live answers straight from the source, and we don't have to go through a lot of trial and error with our product. We could definitely use it as per intended. And any questions that we have, I want to thank you all for being so committed to being here and answering our questions and clearing up anything that we may have had, because these are questions that we get from people that are interested in joining the business, that we can now share the information with them straight from the source. And I think that that is such an underrated blessing that we get with you all being here and present. As David, I thank you so much for fitting us in joining back via audio. It shows just how committed you are to helping us. And even in presentations, when we tell people that we have a global network of support, thank you so much for being a part of that network of support for us.
Well, thank you. Well, that's very nice of you to say. You know, I do know how hard it is. Like when people are asking questions, and if you don't have the answers at your fingertips, how difficult it is, you know, cross that bridge, you know, and bring that across. And you want to be credible at all times. So, you know, I like to help your efforts because I can appreciate how difficult, you know, it can be and how hard you guys all work. So I appreciate that greatly. So thank you.
Yes, David, we still have one more question here about the fungus nail, whether they can apply it directly on the topically, and what do you suggest for people to use regarding fungus nails?
Nail fungus, interesting. Well, it does have some antifungal properties. I do know that because it does impact the Malaysia fur fungus that causes dandruff flakes on our head. However, on nail fungus, I've not seen any studies, but anecdotally, people said when they apply them, it seems to help. I don't have any direct proof of that. I don't have any studies, but people have said that fountain life helps them. If that helps at all. And they haven't told me how they're done. I think they're just placing it on topically, from what I can tell. But if I'm going to take anything, you know, and with Fountain of Life, I would take it internally and I would use it externally as well. Okay, you just don't want to just use it externally. You want to do it internally as well to help reduce some of the activity and some of the oxidative stress that your body might be faced with.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much again, David. With some people who have some stomach issues, when they take it, they feel an upset stomach, or they have, let's say, the heart start beating faster, or the pressure goes up, or sugar goes up, sometimes like that. What do you suggest for these kind of people that have some kind of a reaction to it when they take it?
Okay. Really, I'm not sure what is the reason for that. You know, if they take flaxseed, does that happen to them? Probably not. If they take sesame seeds, does that happen? Probably not. But yeah, with Fountain of Life, I think it's some of the people don't like the taste of it, so they feel a little nauseated from it, because they're not used to the flavor. I think that could be one of the things that they're facing. But, if they say their stomach gets upset, put it under the tongue, take it sublingually. Test it that way because that'll avoid going through your gut. It just avoids that. It's absorbed into your bloodstream that way. It goes through a different mechanism. And that should solve it. If they say my stomach still feels upset, well, you're not taking it that way, so it can't be fountain of life.
Yes, sometimes when I hear about that kind of questions, I usually ask them to change the dosage or maybe stop a day or two, or sometimes they just take it after food, for example. Maybe they have a little better acceptance of it when they do it after food. So just find a way to allow your body to absorb it and then work through its way into the body, so the body eventually would welcome it much more. So if you do have some kind of a reaction to it, just think of it, the body is trying to make some adjustments or some detoxification so that you will benefit from it eventually. Don't look at the short-term fluctuation, whatever it is, whether it's sugar, diabetes, or blood pressure, or the heart rate. It's the long-term goal is to get our body to be more healthy so that we can handle all kinds of difficulties in our body. Thank you very much, David, for that. Also, regarding the taste, sometimes I get questions from people that say, "Oh, why do I taste more bitter while I use it?" Or why would the taste change while if I take more or over time I taste it sweeter? So some people, they do feel a difference in the change of taste in their body. Do you have any insight on that regarding the taste?
Well, you acclimate to it. You get used to the flavor. Some people will tell you it gets sweeter. It doesn't change. You're not getting a different bottle, or we're not adding any sweetness. Your body is just acclimating to the bitter tones. It is a bitter tone to it, and so your body does get used to it, and that way it doesn't seem as bitter over time. But in terms of the product itself, it hasn't changed whatsoever. It does have those bitter notes to it. That is characteristic of Fountain of Life. So if people say it's changed, it's not. It's changed. They've changed. They've acclimated, and the body is adjusted to the flavor. And it's something to get used to be honest with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, David. Yeah, for sure. The Fountain of Life itself doesn't change. What changes in your body? So your body makes some adjustment, or your body changes. Sometimes I might suggest people that maybe their acidity level change or improve to a better level, so that they don't taste as bitter as when they first get a shock. So just try to get used to it, and also the taste. Usually the bitter taste is usually better for your body. That's what we in Chinese medicine we say. Good medicine tastes bitter. So if you want something pleasant, something sweet, something that tastes good, go to the Dairy Queen. They have the best taste. you enjoy that better.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily bad.
But you are right though. Bitter is better for us, and they've also taken a look at creating more bitter products. To be honest with you, because they know that bitter notes seem to be bring us a step closer to wellness. So there is that association for sure.
All right. Our host here, do you see any more questions?
So I don't see any more questions coming in, but I do see Natoya said it tastes sweet to her. She likes taking her Fountain of Life. But you know what? As you all said, we have that same saying in the Caribbean. Sometimes if it tastes too good, it's not that good for you, you know.
That's
But
right.
guys, our 10 drops, our 2 droppers, however we take it, the benefits totally outweigh the minor bitter taste, because honestly, I don't think it's that bad to me.
I think you get used to it, you know. It's the first time you taste it, it can be a little shocking for some people. Uh, you know, that's why we recommend mixing it with juices and all that to mask the flavor. But if you take it straight up, I think some people are, you know, they totally it tastes like wood, and it's exactly what it tastes like. But they get used to it, and after a while, they tell me it tastes sweet. So um, the body gets used to it.
When we take it in a juice or some other beverage or something, do we lose a certain percentage of absorption? Do you have some comments on
No,
that?
no, not at all. It's just the juice acts as a carrier. So no, it doesn't affect absorption whatsoever. You know, lignans are converted, you know, by the bacteria in our intestinal tract into enterolactone. It works differently, and you know, as everything else in juice, there's different components to it. You know, amylases and all that break down the sugars if they have sugars in there, and it's absorbed at different areas of the villi of the small intestine. So no, it doesn't affect it whatsoever.
Wonderful to hear that. Thank you, David. There's one more question here regarding the gallbladder stone or gallbladder to save the gallbladder. So for any type of therapeutic dosage, you are looking at 60 to 90 or maybe even a little more, 100 drops a day in order to, as they save your gallbladder. If you have a stone or something that you need to address, you do need to double the dosage or triple so that you can address the question or the problem a little faster. So yeah, just do that, and that should be fine for you. Thank you. Back to your host.
Right. So I do see a comment in the chat. I had colon cancer patient stage 4 under chemo treatment. During chemo, he also took FOL. After 2.5 months, he was recovered. Okay, that's lovely to hear. And a lot of people thanking you for a very informative call tonight, as always. So guys, I really want us to show a little bit more appreciation for Henry and David in the chat tonight, because you all have really opened eyes. I honestly am such a big fan of fun facts and statistics, and I never would have guessed that 70% of forests in Finland are family owned. That was actually
Yeah, I
such
didn't know
a
that either.
mind-blowing fact.
I was surprised by that too. Like the Finnish are very progressive, you know. They all go to university. They're very, you know, university is part of their culture, and they expect to go there. So that's what they're very highly educated people, but they're progressive thinkers. And you know, this whole thing about sustainability, family-owned. You know, when I found out the forests are owned by families, I was shocked. So, but it was nice to see. Yeah, really nice to see how, you know, a country will take something and not waste it and not take it for granted and run it into the ground. We can learn a lot from the people.
Definitely. And we focus as a society so much on sustainability these days. I love seeing how we do it in business as well.
Mm-hmm. So where are you from in the Caribbean?
So I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yes.
I haven't been there. I'm going to have to go there.
Well, it's about time to come back.
Well, I was just down in Jamaica, so I was wondering, you know, so, which is just a beautiful island, So
Definitely.
that's so much fun. Yeah, something special about the Caribbean. So, anyways, I thank you for
Definitely.
the opportunity. Thank you for hosting. I really appreciate it. And I'm really sorry that I'm sitting in my car, but that was the only way I could connect with you tonight.
No
Thank you for the
problem.
great
That's no
session,
problem.
David.
Thank you so much. So I do
Well,
see
thank
that we are a little time crunched, so we probably wouldn't be able to answer any more questions or take any more testimonies yet. But I do
Okay.
hope that you guys join us next week, Monday, all the attendees, with fresh questions, because it's going to be such a great session again, just as how we had a wonderful session today. I do have some announcements for you guys. So I just want to remind you all some updates on upcoming events. Please remember, Instagram flash sale drops on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For you all who don't know the Instagram handle, it's @OpulenceGL. New content has been dropped up to 2 days ago, and it's constantly, our social media team is working so hard to give us a great social media presence. Aside from that, we have our North America cruise coming up. I just wanted to remind you all, I know it's really at the forefront of all our minds, mine included. However, just a reminder, it's February 12th to 16, 2024. So you must meet the LD2 qualifications by December 11th of 2023 to qualify. So let's get setting our targets so that we could see each other on this cruise. Can't wait to see you guys. We have the Freedom Conference, Friday, September 15th and Saturday, September 16th. Please note our special guest would be our founder and CEO, Ramin, as well as Sanaz Human. And so many other special guests would be attending. So I do hope that you guys are interested in this as well, because we have so many things going on constantly to afford opportunities for us to learn and grow in our business. Some things a bit closer as in tomorrow. So Forensic Networker by Renee. The Last Word in Direct Sales Mastery, the most exclusive and advanced MLM university. Anything you know about making money and building business, forget it. He's going to show us with fresh eyes. We're getting weekly training from the master. So tomorrow at 9 p.m., tune in. So we have the Sunday monthly leadership cocktail on August 13th. Again, Rennie will be hosting. So we are ready to take our leaderships to new heights. So join us and gain valuable industry insights that will propel your success. So reserve your seats for that today, guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you all next Monday. Have a good night, everyone, or a good day, whatever time it is for you guys. To the billion.
Thank you very much. To the
Okay.
billion.
Thank you. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.